This is And Whose Fault Is That? Season 2, Episode 8. Sorry about Episode 7. My name is Phil, and I'm joined by Nyxi. Hi, Nyxi. How are you?
It's so good.
Like she's chewing a carrot. Hold, please.
It's such a good title name. That's back to back. I'm on a roll.
It's on a roll, kids.
It's true. I know that for you lovely listeners that have just listened to episode 7 where we've covered apps that slap. Before that, I broke down a whirlwind of 36 hours where I had a tire pop because someone, drove towards me, and internet troubles and lions and tigers and bears. And I just wanted to update you, Phil, that the HVAC cost me about $400.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so your HVAC had gone out, and it was completely non-responsive, right?
Completely non-responsive.
And what were the...
what do you call it? The overflow was overflowing or whatever. There's like a water sensor.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yes, the condensation drain.
That's the one. Condensation drain.
There
was
go.
gunk somewhere. So he pushed
Did
out
he?
all the
Did
gunk.
you get a strongly worded lecture about dropping like a tablespoon of bleach in there once a month or something like that?
Yeah, I gotta order those tablets. Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I gotta put those
Strongly
tablets
worded.
I didn't know that was necessary, but also I feel like this is a failure on the part of my in-laws / Jake. He literally his whole life HVAC. That's what his job is, and Jake should know enough. But also, I don't think it's Jake's fault. But 2021, I guess I never. It's not something I thought about. And so, I learned something new. He went to go and push all of the sludge out. Did I hit mute on time?
You did hit mute on time. Your inhale was not muted, but the rest of it was muted.
Okay.
This one uncontrollably sneezed on camera. Poor dog. Anyway.
So I just there's carrots everywhere. Sorry, kid. So I didn't know about that, and he pushed out a whole bunch of sludge, and it was gross. And
it's really just algae. So I was going to say, Florida has the same problem, where in warm climates, where even though it runs all the time, and you're like, okay, you should be filled with condensate all the time, but it's also warm enough for algae to grow in there.
Yeah, it looked like boogers, basically, very clear boogers. Yeah. So that snot fest ended up all over my lawn, which I didn't even think about, because he came back in and he was like, this is what happens and blah, blah, blah. And he was super chill, but he showed me a picture of this purge of snot. And I was like, ugh. And then he was like, yep. I was like, okay, we'll try to avoid that again. And then I forgot it existed. So 2 days later, I went to go take the trash out because it's around the side of the house that's where I put my bins. Yeah. And I was like, oh, what's that?
What died here?
No, I started Googling grass spiders and webs and stuff.
Grass spiders?
Yes, because it dried like a web. Like a web.
Oh.
Web meets glue.
Oh.
And I was like, what the hell is that? And so it led me down this rabbit hole. And then I called Jake. And I was like, hey, we got some boogers on the side of the house that look like, it looks like webbing or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, that's the AC thing. And I was like, oh. And then, light bulb moment. Just like finding out things are alphabetical.
Things are alphabetical.
Yeah.
But what was I going to say about that? Yeah, the condensate stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that means it tripped something and it shut itself off so that it wouldn't just puke all over your floor.
Exactly.
So you're in the land of HVAC again. That's good.
Yes. Everything is working and functional. I finally got a call back from the tire place down the road. Rim from a scrapyard. Used tire. $240. Not bad.
That's not terrible.
No. I actually was expecting worse. Exactly. So I'm very happy. That has been rectified as well. Because I just needed all those loose ends to be tied up. Leave me alone.
My carrot.
Leave me alone.
For those joining us in the audio verse, the dog is like, but carrots, as it sits in Nyxi's lap.
It's my fault, really. As you guys know, 90% of the time I'm holding Hunter, or Hunter's going to end up on me. And I'm a little behind on his feeding schedule. So obviously, as any other abused animal would do, as you know, Sarah McLachlan plays in the background, he's trying to swat these carrots away from me. And I'm just trying to appease the little demon.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Mother, please.
All of these things get fixed. I'm super happy. Internet hasn't dropped. Having a good time. I've been
No one's unplugged you? My God.
Nobody's unplugged me. I tell you about the cocktail onions?
You did not tell me about the cocktail onions. Okay. Oh boy.
Okay, so yes, everything is fixed. Everything's fine. I've been incredibly lazy, not doing much, trying to relax, which is fine because normally I should be relaxing. I should be taking things easy.
Yes, not lifting things.
Not lifting, 100-pound mattresses by myself like an idiot because it got delivered finally on Saturday.
You're like, against doctor's orders, I've continued to lift things.
I need to take an extended W. I'm going to take a walk over to my friend that lives down the street.
Okay.
Cocktail onions all across the sidewalk.
Oh, harking back to season 1, episodes 2 through 30. Why do people keep putting food in my... I love how it just happens in your neighborhood.
What the hell is going on here? Is there a fucking portal somewhere where people just throw their unused food and it ends up sprinkled across the neighborhood? I was like, okay, I'm going to cross the street and walk across, down by the field and go towards my friend's place. And it's just perfectly placed cocktail onions, which apparently these onions deter rats or something. But you have so many pets around. Dogs cannot eat onions.
No, they cannot. But I'm just, okay.
Listen, that's not even what I was going to talk about, but it's leading
Portal.
to a segue.
Portal
there must
to
be. There must
Austin.
be. Portal to... Kids, when you flush your toilets, it all ends up over here. That's what happens. I don't even know what to fucking think anymore, and it's...
No, I there's so many great questions as to why. I mean, the onions, if you can explain away with, okay, fine, there's some sort of deterrent, but you can't tell me what the what the sour cream and onion potato chip bag unopened was gonna deter.
I don't know, and the worst part is, a couple days ago, when I took him for a W. Oh yeah, I had some ground beef and I made some loaded nachos. And I invited my friend over and I said, listen, I got to take this kid for his W. And he made it, God, I don't know, two neighbors down. He ate something. I didn't catch him quite quickly enough and I didn't have a flashlight on him. He ate something. It was gone. I think I saw him at the end of his chews. And that was it. 30 seconds later, throws up all over someone's lawn. Everything that he ate. Empties his stomach. Walks another 10 feet. Throws up bile. I was like, well, I guess we're going home. And then spent the next 20 minutes trying to purge whatever the hell he ate. So it must have been pretty bad.
Oh, well, I mean... A+ for getting rid of it while outside.
That's what I said.
Not on your carpet.
No, but I don't care about the carpet. I'm happy
that
it was instant, that it didn't sit with him well, versus him digesting it, and it could be bigger issues down the line. So naturally, I had to go over to the neighbor's house and pick up, the pile of vomit on their lawn. Anyway, yeah, but it's all been very interesting and a lovely whirlwind until... that morning of the nachos, I was like, you know what? I want to go pick up a few groceries here and there. I need some stuff. Let me go for another W. Right?
Okay.
So I'm going by foot to the grocery store, no problem. Get there. It is insanely busy. I don't know if it's because it's the weekend.
At the grocery store?
Yeah. Over the top. I didn't do anything out of line. Like, I'm talking like, when did I go? Maybe I did go peak hours, actually. Stop it. Sorry, guys. My dog is very itchy. Let me see if I can find my conversation where I had to message my friend and I was like, emergency. 4:30.
Okay.
So yes, I probably did shoot myself in the foot by showing up at peak hours when everybody leaves school and they go shopping and it's right before dinner or whatever. It was
what day of the
madness
week?
in there.
I mean, you didn't do this on Thanksgiving, so
I did this on Saturday.
Saturday at 4:30. I don't know. That seems
This
a
place
bit
is
much.
always packed, though. It's my fault.
Yeah.
Because anything that should mess with like peak hours, honestly,
Yeah.
I feel like even at 10:30, it's pretty bad there. But anyway, this place is always jammed. Okay, I should have known better. I grab everything that I need, and I pass by this big tented bakery table. They have all kinds of leftover pumpkin pies and all kinds of stuff, and they have these absolutely amazing smelling rolls that look like half croissant, half muffin top. I don't know. They just looked amazing. Very strange shape. Never saw them before.
Okay.
Pick up the bag. Check out. Lovely Courtney is my cashier. Thank you. I pay. I leave. I get home. Put my things away. Grab my receipt. Look at the receipt. I'm sorry. $60? For what? Pray tell. I bought a bag of nacho chips.
Okay.
The small half, what do you call it? Not the full plastic container, but the half containers of sour cream.
Okay.
These carrots.
Okay. We're up to $9. Continue.
Yes. It's random. I don't know what else I bought. Oh, I bought Jamaican patties and a couple of dumb things here and there. Oh, some salami, some pico de gallo, because I need to put some on the nachos. What are we
Yeah.
at? I don't know.
$25 maybe. 30 max.
$60.
Okay. So what's on the receipt that you didn't come home with?
It would be the strawberry cake.
Strawberry.
Strawberry cake.
Okay.
And then I...
The hell did the strawberry
what
cake
did you
come from?
scan that was strawberry cake?
Cake, yeah.
The bread had a label of strawberry cake on it. So I freaking picked up the one bag of bread
that got labeled. I'm like, what do you win? Because it wasn't strawberry cake.
That was $33.
Oh, sweet mother of Mary.
So here is my buns, right?
The buns, yes.
Let me get this out of here.
Your gorgeous, delicious.
And here's the $33,
$32.90, I think.
98.
98 cents.
98. Then I messaged my friend, I need you to pick me up immediately. This is an emergency. She said.
Yes.
She
I
said,
need to go. I need to Karen, a customer service person, please.
She said, okay. I just paid $33 for bread. And she says, I will be there promptly. I get there, go back to register 9, look at Courtney. Courtney looks at me and goes, didn't I just check you out? I said, yes, about 10 minutes ago. She's like, okay, what's up? This bag of bread, I would like to return it. She's like, is it stale? No, it's gold.
$33.
Like, it's $33. She's like, what? Then she calls the manager over. Then the manager's like, yeah, I wouldn't pay that either. I'm like, that's not the real price, though. It's not like I bought really expensive bread. I'm like, it's strawberry shortcake. Then they had a very heated debate on how this could have happened. They're like, you never know. Maybe someone swapped the bag. I'm like, nobody puts cake in a bag.
Strawberry cake in a bag.
Nobody puts cake in a
bag. You got a
bag.
rogue bakery employee.
This is
rogue bakery employee.
This is one cake less for the label. And instead of looking at the label,
somewhere there is a cake. There's a cake that went out this door for $4.98.
Oh, it could.
Don't you understand, Ken?
It could be possible, but I think it's just all the labels were printed. They were missing a cake, and they grabbed the extra label for the strawberry thing, and they started labeling the bread. Either way, I got my money back. Crisis averted.
Did you still get the aforementioned bread?
No, I didn't go back.
Free?
But I totally thiefed one before I returned it, though. Because I opened the bag, and I was like, oh, this bread's pretty... What?
This bread is pretty expensive. This better taste like fucking
Yeah, exactly.
the best bread ever.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my little adventure of...
Oh, that's just... I can honestly say I've never had that happen to me. To have a label switcheroo like that.
Courtney was really chill. She was a nice cashier. The manager was laughing too, like, yeah, I don't blame you. Nobody wants to pay for it. I was like, exactly. Do you want us to go get you another one? I was like, nope.
No, that's okay. I've already had the one I want. No, we're all good, Ken. I've already eaten the delicious, delicious bread.
You know, you had mentioned something recently. This is non-grocery related or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
About wanting to do the New York Times crossword and stuff like that. And
Yes.
how you had a subscription that would allow you to partake. And you also were talking about a Kindle thing. I don't know why I can't do it. I want to do it, but I find myself enjoying books more if I'm holding a book versus looking at a screen. And also, you were saying about your eyes getting tired. I can relate somewhat, but I feel more like my eyes get dry. I don't know why. Maybe I blink less with a screen in my face.
Yeah. I mean, entirely possible. Yeah.
I don't know. But I always wanted to have a subscription to a newspaper. I used to love newspapers when I was younger. I used to love sitting down, reading the paper. I used to read everything front to back. And I don't know what happened for me to lose that option, or maybe I never, I took it for granted or something. But every once in a while I think about it, like, oh, I would love to subscribe and get a newspaper again. Not a magazine, like the New York Times.
So I want to say that I think just with technology moving forward, and since you and I both went down the route of working in technology, I think that's where it kind of fell apart for me. Because I used to, same thing. My dad used to get the Sunday paper. I would steal entire sections of it. Yeah. I would read them. Same thing. Fold it into a square, read an article, this, that, and the other thing. And I cannot tell you the last time. I mean, I think when we first moved here, when coupons, like paper coupons, still was like a thing. I think I would grab the Sunday paper every once in a while and clip coupons. But now all coupons, right, are in the damn app. And either that or they don't exist. Or they're rigged to your frequent customer card.
I know that the peak of me reading papers was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I would work, when I was working at one of the cafes or the bars, I would get the daily paper. And so that was part of the routine for me, was make myself an espresso and then read.
An espresso.
And then read the paper. I just don't think I've read a paper in its entirety. Like maybe I found like a portion of it here and there or whatever, some fluke, But I don't think I've actually touched an entire newspaper since I've moved to the US. And so every once in a while, I think to myself, boy, I would really love to have a newspaper subscription. And I just lose track of that thought. It never happens. And I wonder to myself each time, like, I got to remind myself, look it up. Do they still deliver? Is it only the weekend? Is it super expensive because now it's actual physical paper? Like, who knows?
Yeah.
But I would love that. The mail in the morning, not the mail in the morning, the newspaper in the morning, to be part of the routine, to inform myself on things instead of just doom scrolling. And
it doesn't feel out of date considering, with everything else. I mean, news nowadays is instantaneous. But you wouldn't be reading it for the news. You'd be reading it for...
There is no algorithm with that. It is
That's
what
true.
you get. And so...
There's no pop-up ads. That is very true.
Well, I don't care about the ads. It's funny.
No.
That's
But I
true.
mean, like, there's no...
But I mean, there's nothing
it's
catered
not as...
to... You know,
Yes.
you're not trying to feed me a specific type of stream. This is
Yes.
what the news is. This is what's happening in each section. These are the headlines. Learn something or lose it. That's about
Yes.
it. And the crossword. Always a nice bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I miss that. I think that somewhat helped shape my curiosity for wanting to do things. And now, you know, obviously it's a little rampant now because everything is at our fingertips, but I certainly don't enjoy consumption of the news the same way. And I don't even look for the same types of news that, you know, if you match newspaper section to, or category or, I don't know. And online, I can't do it. I don't care for online. I don't know.
I mean, I think I will peruse Google News.
Yeah.
Occasionally, but I just to see what's going on. But yeah, interesting. But like I told you, I will. You know, eyes get tired wherever you go. Maybe distractions, the ADHD kicks in. I can stay far more focused on. You know, I'll read 100 pages of a book without noticing, but I don't think I'd read 100 pages in the Kindle without at least going in Instagram 10 times and forgetting what I was doing and getting a text message, which goes into the focus modes thing too, where like I don't use focus modes like that. Like I'm either asleep. I've never used do not disturb and stuff. I don't know. I don't know you.
I know that sometimes you have your notifications turned off. I like focus mode because of that, because it tells people you have your notifications turned off.
Yeah.
So I like it as a deterrent. It's not necessarily.
I like it.
It is. That's truly why I like it. I like it because it's constantly giving people a message, leave me the hell alone. That's why I like it.
Mutually assured notifications.
I want to. There is a certain... I've reached a certain point where I've passed a line that I give in myself, you know, the line in the sand type of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's now triggered in me a need to restore to default, a factory reset. And I find myself irritated that I can't do this as quickly as I'd like. And there's certain things and certain ways that I would like to be routine-wise that I cannot currently support. And one of those things is the morning routine. I cannot have this routine and enjoy it as much as I would like, which should not be a reason for me not to at least try to have it. So I'm going to see if I can get myself a paper and start to implement these little things, because while I have goals that I can't not necessarily share and they're kind of like non-jobby job adjacent or whatever, I just want to do whatever the hell I want to do. And one of those things is wake up in the morning, have a coffee, have someone to have a conversation with about what the hell I'm reading in the paper. That's it. And and then the books, I want to try a Kindle, but I feel like it's not going to happen. If my eyes dry up when I'm reading stuff on my phone, how are they not going to dry up when I'm reading stuff on my bigger phone? So, I don't know. Just famished.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Interesting. I was just curious. I'm like, you know what? Let's go to the New York Times home delivery. Would you like Sunday only, 3 days, Friday through Sunday, weekday, Monday through Friday, or daily?
How can
What?
they get me a daily paper for not $800,000?
Because they print it locally.
I hadn't thought about that. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's how they do it. Is they contract with other like your local newspapers in the area, and then they have them print. They send it over digitally, and then they have it home delivered that way.
Okay.
It is. It's $10 a week.
That's really cheap.
Yeah. 7 days a week. And then if you just want Sunday, it's $5 a week. I love these prices are just so all
These
over
prices
the place.
are just order the whole thing. You can see it's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
so really
Because it's $5 a week just for Sunday, or the 3-day, Friday through Sunday, is $7.50, but so is the Monday through Friday.
That's pretty
Ooh,
good.
but it comes
actually.
with unlimited digital access.
Oh yeah, yeah. Which is fine, I guess, if I wanted to cross-reference something or maybe browse, but
I would like to, yeah.
not the same thing as reading the actual paper. God, that's so tempting. I might do that.
Yeah.
I might do that. Do you mind sending me the URL of what you're on? Or
Yeah. Yeah. Interested in, I'm like, well, how is the Wall Street Journal more wacky? Not much more wacky. It is $11.25 a week. Huh. All right.
Damn.
Fascinating. Again, I have not, I mean, I'm glad you brought this up. I have not thought about print and newspapers in ages. And I would religiously,
You know
steal
what,
chunks of my dad's newspaper and, go read them.
you know what tends to rehash this urge for me is visits to the doctor, to the dentist, where I'm in a waiting room and I grab up that 200-year-old History
Highlights
Channel
magazine.
yeah, and I find these articles that are really fascinating, and it just that's what I have like linked to reading the paper. Is
You're like, journalists
a lot of those-
in
a
this
lot of those-
economy?
yeah, journalists in this economy, yeah. So. Yeah, and that's it. I mean, other than that, I don't have much else to want to poke your brain about aside from what do you do with your friends when it comes to the holidays, and are you as focused on gift exchange as you were 10 years ago?
No, actually, we are, since we're throwing the holiday party, we're just going to do the white elephant Yankee swap gift exchange. We aren't really. I mean, I was going to say I'm not doing much of the friend stuff. I mean, some of us, like Cassandra and I, we haven't checked in yet this year, but for the last few years, we've kind of established kind of a non-compete clause where unless we find something very particular, we'll buy each other's pets and or children things.
Oh, right,
So-
right. Okay.
Yeah. So that's usually, and actually I'm kind of glad I called it what I did. It is kind of like a non-compete clause because we don't need this to get out of hand and it doesn't need to become an arms race.
Yeah, I
So-
like the pets and kids thing. I feel like that's a good moderate compromise. I mean, I don't think it's anything exaggerated, and I think it's still nice from a gesture perspective.
Yeah. And I've done food, like, for the longest time, like I would do baked goods and things like that to some of my friends and in lieu of gifts. And I think I've sent you Polish stew before for Christmas.
You have.
So,
You've also done it just because, and so.
and I've just done it. Yeah, I made it. So
But
just
I mean,
because.
that's part of why. So I had a conversation with a few of our friends here. We had the first year was a year unlike any other when it came to gifts. We met quite a few people, and a couple of them had children, and that was 3 kids per couple, and it turned into, holy crap, this is getting to be really expensive. I do not want to do this every year, and this is why I don't ever do it to begin with. Our friends John and Haley, like, I told Haley one day, I was like, listen, Jake's birthday is the 25th of December. I am not religious and I don't care to get any gifts. I don't care about it. I really genuinely don't. Also, people break their heads trying to get me something. I have everything that I want. Like,
And again, that's why, like, a lot of, for my friends, I land on stuff that I think that would bring them joy. Like was it last year? I bought my friend Bob a subscription to one of our favorite podcasts.
right.
Like a 1 year, because then you get the extra podcast stuff, like the episodes without ads, plus like the after show, which in the case of Reconcilable Differences can be longer, 2.5 times. I think the record was, there's an episode out there that I swear is 4.5 hours.
Right, but this is something that this person wants, and you don't
Yeah.
necessarily need a holiday to purchase it
Not
for them.
necessarily wants. I think it's something that they wouldn't get themselves for
Right,
themselves.
sure. That's
Yeah.
actually, fantastic way of putting it. You know that this is a gift worth giving, but it's not necessarily that it has to be tied to a holiday. And so John, Haley, myself, and Jake, we've agreed to just do cards for birthdays and just leave it at that. And when it comes to holidays,
Get imaginative with the cards, because there's ways to get imaginative
exactly,
with the
they're
cards.
fun. You can have fun. You accumulate
Yes.
them. You keep them over time. Like, listen, one of my favorite things is the postcards that you send. Like, I have
Yeah.
all of them, and for me, it's like a gotta catch them all Pokemon type of deal. Like, where do they go? Why am I missing one? So, and also, like, for anybody listening, Phil sends these fantastic cards every year, and I have moved an insane amount of times. Like, it's not normal how many times I've moved as a human being over the course of the last decade. And if there's anything that I can keep track of, it's that stack of cards. I always know where it is. And sometimes, don't get me wrong, the recent ones that mailed, depending on the timeline, I might put it separate from another one, but I always bring them all together. And so it's one of those things that I really appreciate because of the amount of effort that goes behind them. And so I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm not really good at faking. I don't care to buy people things. I just want to start buying shit for people when I see something that I know they would love, period. And to your point, where you're like, they wouldn't buy it for themselves.
Yeah.
So that's an excellent thing. That person wouldn't buy it for themselves, so here's your opportunity. I send my nephew something for the holidays. I don't even buy my mom, my sister, my brother stuff anymore. I don't care about it. I mean, I find it difficult to uphold following traditions that I don't really believe in. And I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it. And I think it's cool to get together and have fun during the holidays or Christmas or whatever you celebrate. I'm not trying to shit on that. I think that's great. I think people should take time to appreciate family and friends and stuff like that. I just don't want to feel like there is an obligation behind it.
Yeah. And like I said, it just, after a while, like, especially I'm noticing the older we get, that it becomes like, for lack of a better word, a freaking arms race where you're always trying to make sure that you match their spend. And somebody I was talking to recently said that when most of the members of the family reached adulthood, it became no, you pick a name out of the hat, and that's who you get in the family. So as not to create this situation where you're always killing yourself to buy something for everyone.
Yeah.
So.
And it's not necessary. Like, to what end? To what point? And then, and I find it's easier for me to just be honest about that. And I would prefer seeing something that you like, or John likes, or Haley likes, or anybody that I care for, and just be like, oh my God, this person would absolutely find this hilarious or would love this. Pick it up off the shelf, buy it, and send it to them randomly. There's the only exceptions to that are the people that really care a lot about their birthdays.
Yeah.
Then I will make the exception, because if it's important to them, then that's part of the gift, right? And it doesn't, but I still put limitations on myself, like spending or anything like that. Or I just try to think ahead. I try to think of their birthday basically the whole year and keep it in mind. Like, I know I will have to celebrate this person's birthday, so whatever I pick up along the way is going to be their gift.
Like, no one's getting a new car. Stop asking.
It's just out of hand sometimes. It used to get out of hand, and then I found myself being kind of resentful of the amount of money I used to spend in certain situations when it came to giving gifts for stuff. And it's like, I don't want to spend this much money so that someone goes, oh, wow, thank you, and never uses it, or doesn't even care about it, or for what? Just to say that I got you something? Who cares? Let's go to dinner. Let's save our money. Let's go to Korean barbecue, Yeah. Yeah. So that's my take.
It's much better. I like that take. That's a
Yeah.
good take.
I,
That's a
I
good to take.
that's a good take. Yes. I I'm curious to know though. Did you ever buy something for someone and then forget to give it to them?
Probably. Couldn't tell you what it was though. I feel like I've bought stuff like a couple of years ago. I thought I'd be very clever. I'm trying to remember what it was. I thought I'd be very clever, and I bought stuff for the year, and then I was a shelf in the basement that I was putting stuff on, and like everybody had a shelf, and then
Oh, that's
I
smart.
don't think I gifted. I don't think I gifted everything off that shelf to people.
Oh, well, okay. So the
So I'm
idea
like, I
is,
should, yeah. So the idea was there, but I'm like, I don't think I actually executed. I need to double check that shelf. Is there stuff left over?
oh, that's funny. That's funny. I
I
do.
know for a fact I reconsidered some gifts where I was like, it didn't kind of jive with everything else I got them, or I found something that was, bigger and better, and then felt like the pair of socks was like, you know what? I'm just
You're just not gonna.
not gonna.
But doesn't that like add to the whole point of the of what we were just covering? Like
Yes.
the
No.
sense
It
of
exactly.
like, yeah,
Yep.
anxiety, dread, and having to
Yep.
feel like you have to appease.
Yep.
Because in the end, like it's such a genuinely pure reason for wanting to give them that, and then it gets crapped on by, you know,
Yeah.
your subconscious or whatever the hell you got going on.
Yeah.
So
He's like, you
yeah,
know what? Yeah.
yeah,
So
I totally think that's hilarious though, because giving everybody a shelf or everybody a box or whatever, it's just goes to show like it's very it's mentally taxing to have to cover all the bases. And then voila, this is how much I spent on a shelf. I can visually look at everything.
Yeah.
And
And hell, if you're good about it, again, it's one of those like, you know what? Maybe we piecemeal this out throughout the year.
yeah.
Maybe one of these becomes your birthday gift.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool for like days like today. Like, we're recording on Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
If this was 15 years ago and we have the technology that we have today, 15 years ago, me would have been doing exactly that. Let me buy a whole bunch of crap that I can give out throughout the year and find a way to save the money, instead of going and buy these things one thing at a time.
Yeah.
But that's just not the case anymore. I think I value time with people way more than any material exchange.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, if you feed me, then you go up the pole. But still, that's a different thing. Time and meals. Yeah. I know. For those not watching on YouTube and just listening, the crunching, I'm just trying to appease this little monster of a dog who
So is it time for his
it was an
his
hour
dinner?
ago.
It was an hour ago.
An
Good Lord.
hour ago. In 10
He
minutes,
is
he
just
will. He
starving.
will.
You're like,
He'll
yeah,
be
I'll
happy.
feed you shortly.
I'm also
Yeah.
trying to time his meals with his W so that I am not Wing at the same time as my neighbors.
Oh, yes. Okay.
My direct neighbors who have 2 Frenchies or bulldogs or not very well. One of them is not very well trained, and they don't get along very well because when
misbehaved.
when they
Got it.
are outside,
Mm-hmm.
it is a lot of running up and down, barking at each other through the fence. Not a very playful and happy energy is happening there. Meanwhile, the lab
Gotcha.
on the other side of the fence, this one is just running around like a gazelle, springing, very happy, peeing on each post,
That's the lab for you.
Well, no, that's him. I'm talking about him.
Oh, that's him. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
But that's
He's
how
just
the
like,
lab
"Doo, doo, doo,
affects
doo, doo."
him. Yeah, exactly. He's
Mhm.
very, a lot more docile. So I'm just trying to avoid. Now, I've charged his neon necklace. I had to wait for Jake to bring me the cable because who in the hell uses micro USB anymore? I don't have anything micro USB. I haven't in
So you have
ages.
So you have his collar is
Ladies and gentlemen, my water did not break. I'm just really out of shape. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay,
then
so for visibility.
for
Okay.
visibility, and then it like
Oh,
blinks.
strobe
Or
show. And red is our, okay, so it's red. Got it.
yeah. We like the sandstorm version more. But no, I actually just keep it solid.
Okay.
And yeah, this way
Huh.
he's got another one on his harness that we got from VCA. It was just like
Okay.
one that came with some package because he got a whole bunch of shots. It's too bright. It messes
Like,
with
where's the
my
dog?
retinas.
I just
Yeah,
see a
yeah.
halo.
Yeah, I can't see anything. It's way too bright. And so this one's a little gentler on my ye old eyeballs. So yeah, I just
Fair
wish
Yeah, I don't have. I carry a flashlight, but then I'm also on.
I was just gonna
Yeah.
say like okay, so I would like a flashlight, but I would like one that has the ability to, I guess, adjust the spread of the light.
Yes, 100%.
Is that something that you use?
And I will tell you, you will appreciate this one. I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send you things. So LED. Let me see if I can find it that way. These were. I mean, it doesn't have to be this exact one. I bought these kind of as a thing. It's when Mila got a car.
It's when
So-
Mila got a car.
So they're probably about the size of I don't know. They're not very big. They're probably about the size of like a Snickers bar.
Yeah. Little.
But yes, they have the adjustable beam thing. But the reason I ended up getting these is that they're USB-C rechargeable.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep. And I can't remember what I paid. They're currently $11.89.
Send that over.
Yep, I sent it. It's in the episode 8 chat thread.
Thank you.
Yeah, $11-12, and then it's a 2-pack, by the way. And like I said, USB-C. So I threw one in her car and was like, here's the deal. Just if you ever need to, like, it's charged, plug it in every once in a while, make sure it's charged by USB-C. The other one lives in my car. Same deal. Just and then I have another one that I use for the dog that's a 3-pack that came with the Yankee swap at work like 5 years ago.
Okay.
And so, but I will say this is one. I'll send you another one. This does not have a beam, but it is the size. It is size of a AAA battery.
Ooh.
And so if you click on it, I can describe what you're looking at here in the first picture. That makes sense.
I have the other one open. I'm opening the second one right now.
Okay. So this is where yeah. So this is what's interesting. So this is very tiny. So on the right-hand side, the little rectangle, it's a USB-A plug
It looks like it.
with a keychain hole. So you just plug that into a USB port. But then see where like it's got the shoulder and then it gets narrower? That thing is just magnetically connected. So that thing just pops out of the holder.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
So it's a 2-part flashlight.
You a little helmet.
And it's magnetic.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah. So I think it's in the second picture there where like you can see it like it pops out and
absolutely.
so you can charge it, but then it's also magnetic and then it's got a couple of those rings and so it's $10. There's a YouTuber that has popped up into my things. He goes by Chris Bowden, also known as Physics Duck. He begins every single YouTube, what are those, YouTube Shorts? Mm-hmm. YouTube Shorts. So he primarily has YouTube Shorts. He keeps those updated. He hasn't done a new video in like 4 months. But all the YouTube Shorts would begin with, want to see something cool? And it's always pitch perfect every time. I can go through his shorts and every single one, he's just, want to see something cool? Want to see something cool? But he always has something obscenely just ridiculous and off the wall from, hey, this is an EDC flashlight I carry. They're $10 right now. Do not I'm not even getting, he's like, not even getting you a referral code. Just search for iMini 2 EDC. He's like, go, it's $10. Look at this thing. Look how small it is and look how cool it is. I keep one. It's magnetic. I'll have to send you, I'll add it in the show notes, the Chris Bowden thing.
Yeah, I think
because he is kind of funny. And he also works at a hydroelectric power plant. So he will tell you all sorts of weird things about like electricity and wires, and so he's very much a on the spectrum geek, as he calls himself. Not my words, his words. He's like, I'm just putting my autism to work, as I think it says in one of the videos.
That's what he says.
Yeah,
that's just pretty cool. Yeah, I would like to see that in the show notes.
Yeah, I'll include the 2 flashlights and Mr. Bowden. I love how Amazon now has a customers usually keep this item.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not a fan of this new version of Amazon's new Temu. What do you think about that? Like whatever it's called that I can't remember the name of right now.
I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean?
It's called Haul. Amazon Haul. It's in beta mode, and it's essentially Temu. Is what it is.
Cheap crap? Or?
Cheap crap you could buy for $2 or $1.99.
Oh.
I was like, oh no.
No.
Yeah, same kind of feeling. Like, no. Like, how much more money do you want to make, for crying out loud? Like, it's just, it really is. Like, it looks like Temu. Let me see if I can pull it up because it's not showing me this on the desktop. Now that I'm looking at Last Minute Panic Cyber Monday crap. I got a few things in my
Cyber Monday deals.
I have a few things in the cart as well, and I know we're flying by this hour, but let me see if I can.
No, it's fine. This stuff should stay in because I want to tell you one more thing that I found fascinating. Heather was poking around Facebook.
Okay. Hold on before you. You touch that Facebook thing. It's called Amazon Haul, and if you click on it, it's Haul in beta. And it is the dumbest Temu looking.
I can buy a pair of no-tie shoes for $1.98.
Look at this stuff. It's just
spoiler, the shoes are this big.
It is just a random, very much designed the same way Temu is. And I don't have Temu, but these apps like Shine, Temu, it's all based on a sense of urgency. Like, it's all, everything. You have 2 minutes to put this in your cart, and then if you don't check out in 6 minutes, you lose your 800% off or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry. Please proceed.
No, so Heather was on Facebook Marketplace looking for something the other day.
Yeah.
And it was shocking to see, and algorithm at work, ladies and gentlemen. She was getting little. I don't know how it manifested, but she was getting a message on the screen as she was about to message people. In one case, it said, "Alert, this person is not located in your area. Proceed with caution." And the guy had, his address was still California, and they had just moved to Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And so it lined up, but then when she did her own investigation of looking at their account, the last month they had sold things only in Pennsylvania, so it checked out and was kosher. Mm-hmm. And then another one, she is one of her closets, either never had a door or the previous owner removed the door, but she was like, you know what, I would like a door to match the rest of the doors in here.
Makes sense, yeah.
And it's one of those bifold closet doors. We're just trying to make it uniform, and and when she got to message the person, it was free. And then the bubble came back and said, "Caution, this person tends never to respond to messages." Really? Yes.
That's got to be a new feature.
It is. I had never seen it. Not that I shop on Facebook Marketplace, but I was just like, that's new. And here's where the irony goes. So she discounted that. She messaged him anyway, and then discounted it and was like, okay, well, I'll just keep looking for other doors. And then the guy hit her up 2 hours later, was like, hey, when did you want to come? She's like, now? He's like, cool, I'll put it outside.
Yeah.
And then we got a free door. But fascinating that the algorithm was like, this person doesn't respond ever, so,
Who's making these messages? Grok from X? What's going on? What kind of...
I know, but I'm just like, what did that poor guy do to Can
you imagine that one Karen just spamming him with 2,000 messages and then reporting him because he never replies?
Yeah, I know. What triggered the algorithm? Because that could really screw up. You're like, hey, So case in point, right? When we bought the trailer, I had messaged the guy and got no response. And I waited 2 days and I was really frustrated. And she's like, well, I mean, worst case scenario, let me hit him up. Hit him up, responded instantaneously. We bought it that same night.
There you have it.
So I'm like, am I shadow banned? What the hell?
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, and then she was like, well, it's because you don't have your real face on. I'm like, nobody cares. You know how many people don't have the real face on Facebook?
Matter. I love.
I'm
that.
like, I don't believe it, but
yeah.
But but I just find it ironical. So now I've kind of designated Heather. I'm like, listen, you know what? If we need to buy something, you talk to them. They actually answer you.
Yeah, she's got superpowers now at this rate. If they're saying that, be careful, this person never answers, and they talk to you. Damn it, Heather. Yeah. So that's how I'm like, you know what? You're just my. If I send her Facebook, like, see if this is available. They'll talk to you. Just tell me when to show up and how much money you negotiated them down to. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But this is this little tiny flashlight. Just heads up, it's not super bright, but I bought one anyway because $10, and it piqued my interest as a. You know what? I'll put this on my keychain. This seems like a fun thing to like have just in an emergency.
No, it's definitely
and especially
in
with
my cart.
Super
so.
easy to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's in
and
my
for
cart.
the dog, like I said, just for flashlights around the house, the fact that we already have so much USB-C plugs and you just plug the damn thing in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I'm in agreement. Thank you for that suggestion. It's in the cart and it's going to be checked out later. But we are at time. All right, so episode 8 is now concluded. Thank you for listening to And Whose Fault Is That? This episode was Sorry About Episode 7. I think that's a good title. It's fantastic. Thanks everyone for listening. Be sure to hit us up at comments@awfitpod.com. Check out our website at awfitpod.com. That's awfitpod.com. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Toodles.